She said, "Jesus, I'm not your mother. Clean your own mess." After I asked her to put her dishes away, I replied, "You're right." When she came home to find I'd hired a housekeeper, with her shopping budget, cleanliness became affordable. I, 31 male, need to get this off my chest because I'm sitting here watching my girlfriend Natalie, 29, have a complete meltdown, and honestly, I feel nothing but calm satisfaction. We've been together 3 years, living together for 2. When we first moved in, we split everything down the middle. Rent, utilities, groceries. We each handled our own personal expenses. I make about $85K as a project manager. She makes around $70K in marketing. Not rolling in money, but comfortable enough. Here's the thing about Natalie. She's got expensive taste. Designer bags, premium skincare, weekly nail appointments, the works. Her fun money each month is easily $1,500 to $2,000. Meanwhile, I'm over here buying my clothes at Target and driving a 2014 Honda. Different priorities, whatever. Her money, her choice. But the housework? That became my problem, apparently. Started small. She'd leave dishes in the sink. I'd wash them. She'd leave clothes on the bathroom floor. I'd toss them in the hamper. Gradually got worse. She'd cook elaborate meals for her IG stories, naturally, and leave the kitchen looking like a bomb went off. Bathroom counter covered in makeup and hair products. Living room constantly littered with shopping bags, shoes, magazines. I tried talking about it multiple times. Got responses like, "I'm tired from work," or "I'll get to it later," or my personal favorite, "Why do you care so much? It's not that bad." Last Tuesday was the breaking point. I'd just finished a 10-hour day. Came home to dishes from her weekend dinner party. Yes, weekend. Still in the sink. Asked her calmly as possible, "Hey, could you please put your dishes in the dishwasher?" She was scrolling through her phone on the couch, didn't even look up. "Jesus, I'm not your mother. Clean your own mess. These are your dishes from your party." She finally looked at me, annoyed. "And, if it bothers you so much, you deal with it. I'm not your maid." Something clicked in that moment. Not anger, just clarity. "You're absolutely right," I said. "You're not." She smirked and went back to her phone, probably thinking she'd won. Wednesday morning I made some calls, found a highly rated cleaning service. Not just any service, we're talking the premium package. Deep clean twice a week, laundry service, organization, the whole 9 yards, $750 a month. Now here's where it gets interesting. Remember how we split expenses? Well, Natalie likes to Venmo me her half of bills at the end of each month. Rent, utilities, groceries, she sends it all in one payment. Been doing it this way since we moved in, so I simply adjusted the amount, added the cleaning service to the monthly expenses. Reasonable, right? She doesn't want to clean, we hire someone. Problem solved. Didn't mention it. Why would I? She made it clear household stuff wasn't her concern. The first cleaner, Rosa, came Friday while Natalie was at work. Absolute godsend of a woman. Place was spotless when Natalie got home. She actually commented how nice everything looked. I just said, yeah, decided to tackle it. This went on for 3 weeks. House stayed immaculate. Natalie seemed happy, even posted about our gorgeous space on her stories. Then came Monday. End of the month. I sent the Venmo request. 10 minutes later my phone explodes. What the hell is this amount? Came home to find her pacing the living room, phone in one hand, calculator app open in the other. "You overcharged me by $375. No, that's half the cleaning service." Her face went through about 6 different emotions. "What cleaning service? The one that comes twice a week. You said you weren't my mother or my maid, so I hired an actual maid." With my money? With our money. It's a household expense. We split those, remember? She lost it. Full screaming about how I stole from her, how I'm financially abusing her, how she can't afford this. "Weird, you afforded that new Prada bag last week." That's different. That's my money. Right? And this is a shared expense for a shared space. Unless you want to start cleaning? The look of rage could have melted steel. She stomped off to the bedroom, slammed the door. 20 minutes later, came out with her overnight bag. "I'm going to stay with Becca until you cancel this service and refund my money." "Okay, your half of next month's rent is still due on the 1st. She left. That was Monday. It's now Thursday. The texts have been enlightening. Update 1. Well, that escalated exactly as expected. Natalie's been at her friend Becca's since Monday. The text barrage started Tuesday morning. First, she tried the guilt route. I can't believe you're doing this to me. 3 years together, and this is how you treat me? You said cleaning wasn't your responsibility. I agreed and found a solution. Then came the threats. I'm not paying rent if I'm not living there. Queen, I'll let the landlord know you're breaking the lease. I'm sure that'll look great on your rental history. Radio silence for a few hours. Then Becca started texting me. Apparently, Natalie's been painting me as some sort of financial manipulator who's forcing her to pay for services she didn't consent to. You need to apologize to Nat. She's crying her eyes out. She's welcome to come home anytime. Rosa comes tomorrow at 10 a.m. though, so the place will be clean. But here's where it gets really good. Wednesday afternoon, Natalie shows up, not to apologize or discuss things like adults. Nope. She came to collect more of her things and make a point. I was WFH in a meeting when she arrived. She made sure to be as loud as possible, slamming drawers, stomping around. Then I heard her on the phone, clearly wanting me to hear. Yeah, Mom, he's being completely unreasonable. No, he just decided to hire help without asking me. I know, right? It's like he doesn't respect me at all. Maybe I should just move back home for a while. Her mom, the woman who still does Natalie's taxes, makes her doctor's appointments, and literally drove 2 hours last month to organize her closet because Natalie didn't have time. After my meeting, I found the kitchen destroyed. She'd made herself lunch, used every pot, pan, and plate possible. Food splattered on the counter, stovetop covered in grease, dishes piled in the sink. There was a note, since you love cleaning so much, enjoy. I took photos, then texted her. Thanks for the mess. Rosa will handle it Friday. I'll add the extra deep clean surcharge to next month's expenses, $50. The response was immediate. That's not how this works. You're right, you could clean it yourself. Doors always open. She tried calling, I didn't answer. Texted instead. At work. Please communicate via text. Thursday today, woke up to 23 texts. Not going through all of them, but highlights include, you're being financially abusive. This is manipulation. I'm going to tell everyone what you're doing. My dad says what you're doing might be illegal. You can't charge me for services I didn't agree to. That last one made me laugh. Sent back, you didn't agree to clean either, yet here we are. But the best part? This afternoon, got a call from our landlord. Natalie had contacted him, trying to get herself removed from the lease. Told him I was creating a hostile living environment. Landlord, cool guy, we've been good tenants, called me to get my side. I explained the situation, sent him the photos of the mess she left and our text exchanges. His response? So, she's mad that you hired a cleaning service and want to split the cost? Am I understanding this correctly? Yup. And she wants off the lease because of this? Apparently. He actually laughed. Yeah, no, she signed a lease. She can't just leave because she doesn't want to pay for a maid. Tell her if she wants out, she needs to find a replacement tenant or pay the early termination fee. How much is the early termination fee, you ask? 2 months' rent. $3,600. Forwarded that information to Natalie. Haven't heard back yet, but Becca texted, you're being a real a-hole. Tell Natalie her half of rent is due tomorrow. Update 2. This is probably my final update because, holy hell, it's over. After my last post, Natalie went nuclear, but not in the way you'd expect. No, she got creative. Friday, rent day, she paid. Sent exactly her half of rent, nothing more. Message attached. Cleaning service is your choice. I'm not paying. Saturday morning, she showed up with reinforcements, her mom Beverly and her dad Keith. I was having coffee when they knocked. Opened the door to find all 3 of them, looking like they were staging an intervention. Beverly started immediately. We need to discuss this situation like adults. Sure. Come in. Rosa just left, so the place is clean. Keith tried the authority figure approach. Son, you can't just make financial decisions without your partner's consent. I didn't. I hired someone to handle a household chore. We split household expenses. Pretty straightforward. Natalie was glaring daggers while her parents tried to mediate. Beverly actually said, and I quote, Natalie wasn't raised to be a maid. She has a career. So do I. Yet somehow I managed to clean up after both of us for 2 years. Keith. That's different. Men and women have different standards of cleanliness. I actually laughed. You're right. Mine include not leaving week-old dishes in the sink. They tried for an hour. Every angle. Emotional manipulation, don't you love her? Financial threats, we'll help her get a lawyer. Even bizarre bargaining, what if she cleans once a month? Finally, I'd had enough. Look, it's simple. Either she pays half the cleaning service, or she starts cleaning up after herself, or she moves out and pays the termination fee. Those are the options. Beverly turned to Natalie. Honey, maybe you could tidy up a bit more. Mom, you're supposed to be on my side. And that's when it clicked for her parents. The looks they exchanged said everything. They'd been cleaning up after their princess her whole life, and now someone was finally saying no. They left shortly after, Beverly muttering something about young people these days, and Keith telling me to think about what you're throwing away. Sunday was quiet. Too quiet. Monday, came home from work to find Natalie moving out. Not just overnight bag moving out, full move. Had a U-Haul and everything. Her brother Ethan and his boyfriend were helping. So you're really doing this? I asked. She wouldn't even look at me. I found someone to take over my part of the lease. Landlord already approved her. She moves in next week. Part of me wanted to say something. 3 years, and it ends over hiring a cleaning lady? But then I looked around at the boxes of her stuff, designer bags, shoes, mountains of skincare products, and realized this was never about the money. It was about the principle. She genuinely believed maintaining our shared space was beneath her. All right, good luck, Natalie. She finally looked at me. You're really not going to apologize? For what? Solving the problem you created? For being petty and vindictive. I hired a cleaning service. You're the one ending a 3-year relationship over it. She started to respond, then just shook her head and went back to packing. Tuesday, she was gone. Place felt weird. Quiet but clean. Rosa came Wednesday. I told her it would just be maintaining one person's mess now. She actually said, oh good, the bathroom will be much easier now. Even Rosa knew. But here's the kicker. The absolute chefs. I mean, the perfect ending to this saga. Thursday. Yesterday. Get a text from Natalie. My new place doesn't include utilities. Can you send me the account info for setting up electric and internet? I don't know how. 3 years. She'd lived on her own before we met, but apparently had forgotten how to set up basic utilities. Or more likely, never knew because Mommy and Daddy had always handled it. Google it. Seriously? You're gonna be like that? I'm not your mother, remember? She blocked me after that. Becca texted this morning saying Natalie's new roommate is super uptight about dishes and cleaning. Apparently has a whole chore chart and everything. I couldn't help but laugh. The irony is delicious. She left a relationship where she could have paid $375 a month to never clean again, and ended up in a situation where she has to clean on a schedule. As for me, place is spotless. Rosa's amazing. Already found someone to take the room. My buddy from work, super clean guy. Rent's actually going to be cheaper, split with him since he's taking the smaller bedroom. Natalie's mom reached out one last time, saying I'd regret losing such a wonderful girl. Maybe. But right now, sitting in my clean apartment, not having to wash someone else's week-old dishes or step over designer shopping bags, I'm feeling pretty good about my choices. Sometimes the best response to "I'm not your mother" is, "You're absolutely right," and hiring someone who actually gets paid to clean up the mess. Final update. Wasn't going to update again, but the conclusion to this saga is too perfect not to share. My new roommate Derek moved in 2 weeks ago. Dude's an absolute legend, does his dishes immediately, actually offers to help with common area stuff, and his girlfriend made us cookies last weekend. Living situation has never been better. But this isn't about that. This is about what happened to Natalie. Remember how her new roommate was uptight about cleaning? Well, I got the full story from a mutual friend who couldn't wait to spill the tea. Natalie's new roommate is named Joanna. She's a 26-year-old law student who explicitly advertised for a clean, responsible roommate who respects shared spaces. She has a detailed roommate agreement, like detailed. Cleaning schedules, quiet hours, guest policies, the works. Week 1, Natalie left dishes in the sink. Joanna sent her a friendly reminder about the 24-hour dish policy. Week 2, Natalie had her friends over, left the living room trashed. Joanna documented it with photos and issued a formal warning per their agreement. Week 3, Natalie tried to pull the "I'm too busy" card. Joanna literally pulled out the signed agreement, where Natalie had initialed next to, "I understand that failure to maintain cleanliness standards may result in termination of the roommate arrangement." But here's the nuclear part. Joanna isn't just any law student. She's specifically studying tenant law and works part-time at a legal aid clinic. She knows exactly what she can and can't enforce. When Natalie tried to refuse the cleaning schedule, Joanna started charging her additional cleaning fees, as outlined in their agreement. $50 every time she had to clean up after Natalie. All documented, all legal, all airtight. Natalie called me last week. Actually called me. First time we'd spoken since she moved out. "I need to ask you something." "What's up? Can you send me Rose's contact info?" I almost choked on my coffee. "The cleaning service? I thought that was financial abuse." Long pause. "My roommate is charging me more than that in cleaning fees." "So hire Rosa. I can't afford it on top of all my other expenses." "Sounds like a you problem. Can you at least ask if she has a discount rate?" "Natalie, you left me because I wanted to split a cleaning service. Now you want that same service but cheaper? I didn't think it would be like this." Joanna is insane. She times how long dishes stay in the sink. She takes pictures. Sounds like she just wants a clean living space. It's not normal. Neither is leaving week-old dishes for someone else to clean. She hung up, but the absolute finale came yesterday. Beverly, Natalie's mom, called me. Not to berate me or demand anything. She called to ask if I knew any good cleaning services in Natalie's area. She's moving back home, and we told her she needs to hire help if she's not going to clean up after herself. I gave her Rosa's number. Rosa now cleans for Natalie's parents' house, specifically Natalie's areas. $375 a month. Exactly what she would have paid living with me. Except now she's paying it while living with her parents at 29 years old. The mutual friend who told me all this said Natalie's been complaining to anyone who'll listen that everyone's obsessed with cleaning and nobody understands how busy she is. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here in my spotless apartment, Derek's making dinner and cleaning as he goes, and life is genuinely peaceful. Oh, and Rosa mentioned she got 3 new clients from referrals this month. Apparently, my story spread around our friend group, and suddenly, a lot of people realized they could afford to solve their own dishes in the sink arguments. Natalie created a whole cleaning service microboom in our area because she couldn't just wash a damn plate. You really can't make this stuff up. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate or complex. Sometimes it's just letting people face the natural consequences of their own entitlement. She thought she was too good to clean? Cool. Now she gets to pay for that belief, literally, while living back with mommy and daddy. And honestly, I'm grateful. If she hadn't shown me who she really was over something as basic as dishes, I might have wasted more years with someone who genuinely believed I existed to handle the parts of life she considered beneath her. Rosa still comes twice a week. Split with Derek, it's $187.50 each. Best money I've ever spent. Funny how, "I'm not your mother," became the best thing she ever said to me. Gave me the clarity to realize I wasn't her servant either.